Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to say thank you for coming to our presentation. It is great to see you all. The purpose of our presentation is to discuss about life and development of insect population. Okay, before we go there, let me introduce ourselves. I am Aldy Putra Pratama as moderator and fourth speaker, Natalia Fridolina Bau as first speaker, Niranian as second speaker, and Zaidan Nuha as third speaker. Okay, we will start the presentation with Natalia Fridolina Bau as the first speaker.
The first is insect life. Insects are a class of invertebrate in the phylum Arthropoda which have a chitin exoskeleton. The body is divided into three parts, namely the head, thorax, and abdomen, three pairs of the legs connected to the chest, compound eyes, and a pair of antennae legs. The study of insect life is called entomology. Insects belong to the class insect subphylum Uniramia, which is further divided into 29 orders. The second is development of insect. Insect development is a biological process toward maturity. It can be in the form of change in the form, composition, and function of body organs toward maturity or perfection. In this change, the difference in size is not too big or conspicuous, but there is a big change that cannot be measured in the form of a change in shape. The development process that has entered the final stage, one of its characteristics in the maturity of the reproductive organs. The next is factor of influence the life and development of insect. Internal factor, which included in the internal factor as are ability of reproduce, self-difference nature, and egg of imago. First, ability of reproduce. The breeding ability of each species is different. The level of reproduction and the sex ratio. The faster the pest beats, the higher its reproductive ability. Second, self-defense nature. Plant pets have tools and abilities to defend themselves against other organisms in the vicinity. The form of defense tool varies such as poison, feathers, etc. And the last is egg of imago. The egg of imago affect the increase in the pest population. The longer the egg of female imago, the greater the chance of laying eggs.
There is 4 external factors. First is climate. The climate have 5 parts. 1. Temperature. Insects are cold-blooded organisms where their body temperature is strongly influenced by environmental temperatures. Each insect has a certain temperature range. Outside the ideal temperature range, insect will either freeze or dead or overheat. 2. Humidity. Humidity greatly affects the life of insect. When the humidity is in accordance with the needs of the insect life, the insect tends to be resistant to extreme temperatures. 3. Rainfall. The rainfall can cause the drift of plants beds so that the pest population will decrease. 4 is light. Light is one of the ecological factors that has a big influence on the life of plant pets. There are some pets that are achieved when there is no light or at night, or nocturnal, such as the armyworm, and there are also some pets that are achieved during the day or diurnal, such as the wood grasshopper. The 5 is wind. Wind affects the process of spreading plant pets. In addition to supporting the spread of pets, strong winds can inhibit the laying of butterfly, often even causing death. The second external factor is soil. Soil structure and moisture have a big influence on pets' life. Loose structured soil with high organic matter content and adequate moisture can support the development of plants that live all or part of the life in the soil. The three external factor is biological factor. Biological factor can be in the form of animals, bacteria, fungi, and viruses that inhibited the proliferation of plant pets because they eat them, parasites them, become pets, or complete for food and living space. Last but not least, the external factor is host plants. Host plants are plants that provide food and shelter for pets organisms. When the prevent, prevent plants is present in like numbers, the pets population quickly increase. On the other hand, if there is not enough food, the pest population will decrease. Next. Cause of explosion. According to Pimentel, 1982, there are 12 causes of explosion. First is monoculture planting. Planting one type of plant for a long period of time in a lake area tends to be less stable so that it can become a suitable environment for pest exhaustion. Second is introduction of new plant space. For example, potatoes originating from Bolivia are cultivated in USA. The potato crop was then attacked by the Colorado potato beetle, which has been in the area for a long time. 3. Introduction of new pet species. The presence of a new pest species in a certain area still falls for where there is no new natural pest control method in that area. Fourth, moving plants to different climates. For example, the potato bird pest is a serious problem in the southern USA, where it has a hot climate. Meanwhile, in the cold northern regions of the USA, this pest is not a problem. 5. Plants breeding issue. There are conditions in which breeding plants are susceptible to pest attack. Next. Six, reduce generic diversity. The reduced generic diversity in certain plants causes the way of planting tends to be the same every time. These planting methods make the plants vulnerable to pest attack. 7. Planting distance. Plants that are too close together result in faster propagation and transfer of pests from one plant to another. 8. Continuous planting. Continuous planting in a production area will result in a pest population explosion, especially because food for pests is available all the time. 9. Nutrient. Soil structure and moisture affect the life of pets as well as nutrient. 10. Planting period. Of Often plants are attacked by pests because the planting period is not in accordance with the development of the pest population in the field. 11. acquisition of pets and plants. If the preferred plant is present in like numbers, the pest population increases rapidly and vice versa. The explanation will be continued by my friend Adam.
The next point is pest monitoring. When a pest manager has taken precaution to prevent pest infestation, it is important to watch regularly for the appearance of insect, which disease, and other pests. This is called monitoring. And the second is goals of pest monitoring. The primary goals are to locate, identify, and rank the severity of pest infestation. This data may also be used to project future population through pest management models. In addition to giving solid data for making a management decision, regular monitoring works well for checking the success of failure of control strategy. The next is pest monitoring involves. Pest monitoring involves 4 points. And the first is regular checking of crop field, garden, greenhouse, warehouse, school, bakery, restaurant, golf course, athletic field, or other areas. Early detection of pests function together as early warning system of pets, helping to prevent or minimize a pest outbreak. And the second point is proper identification of pets. Is an extremely important parasiquity to handling problems effectively. Identification is important because certain management practice might control only one species and not the other. Correct identification enables you to manage the real source of the problem and avoid merely treating the syndromes or controlling organizations that are not pets. And the third point is identifying the effects of beneficial organisms. When knowing which organisms are beneficial and determining if pets have been affected by them. Sometimes pets are kept in the check natural, and at other times the pet population increases sharply. And the last point is assessing the efficiency of pets management action that have been taken. It's very important to part of monitoring. The Scott must know the what and where of the management action taken and report success of or failures.
The next is monitoring techniques. First, the EPM scope or technicians is the most important part of operational monitoring programs. The scope works in a variety of situations, it's requiring specific knowledge and tools. The second is monitoring pest population with traps. The use of monitoring traps is highly recommended for certain insects, rodents, and diseases. Practically speaking, these devices are a must. They extend the edge of the pest manager to place they cannot see and provide ongoing coverage. The example of insect monitoring traps is the first is plastic target traps appear to be very efficient and economical. The second is light traps are attractive to some insects, but pheromone traps offer increased flexibility in deployment and specificity. The third is sticky traps. Some insects are attracted to bright yellow or other colors so they can be chopped on colored sheets of plastic or cardboard that is coated with glue. Sticky traps are used as monitoring tools in greenhouses and orchards, although they may be used as a control on indoor plants. By regularly checking the sticky trap, a grower can determine the initial presence of potentially damaging insect population. For example, yellow sticky trap attracts edible whiteflies, flower type, fungus gnats, and leaf miner, and the other color is black blue trap are also available for flower type. Pheromone trap individually packaged pheromone attractants that are available for monitoring some species of moth. The traps are treated with a lure that mimic the odor given off by female moths to attract males for mating. The traps are used to find out when the main flight of adult insects occurs so that management tactics can be instituted early to have the greatest effect. Orchard growers use traps to time foddling moth prey so that they are used when most eggs are hatching into caterpillars. The five is plastic pitfall traps are used for crawling pests in the field as well as in stored grain bins. The species and number of insect found in a trap should be recorded and charted so that change in population size can be easily noticed. Six, the sixth is vertebrata monitoring trap. Small, secretive, and sometimes nocturnal vertebrata pests are difficult to monitor. Traps are very important when checking on the domestic rodent population such as mice and rats. Types of traps include: first is net traps for the single cats. Second is automatic trap for multiple cats. The third is sticky trap uh, for the bluebird, and the last is single cat trap or bug traps. Digital monitoring tools. Computer and other electronic tools are very much a part of DPM monitoring. Geographic Information System and Global Positioning System allow very precise mapping of areas. These devices, when used with soil mapping and yield monitor, are part of a system called precision agriculture. First, precision agriculture. Precision application of strategic control pests are often more effective than conventional methods and require less pesticides. Yield monitor and site-specific crop quality data provide a report card on how effective the crop production products and management tactics were. For example, a predicted disease level can then be used as the basis for a variable rate fungicide application and provide decision support for various production practices, such as rootstock selection, fertilization, and irrigation. The second is Geographic Information System, or we call it GIS, and Global Positioning System, GPS. An example of practical EPM use of the device is as follows. First, the GPS system is used to map lake-like type location in agricultural areas used to monitor for the crop pests. The GPS units are accurate to within 10 feet. Next is the thread counts are collected and entered into a spreadsheet or database which is linked to the key software. The key software is used to create a map of the count. The last, the map are shared with growers in the community by sending a newsletter, text, email, or an internet website. Mapping the thread count is useful for predicting where and when a pest will be arriving. Additionally, the pest map can be overlaid with weather maps that will help predict pest movement and the likelihood of damage to crops. Thank you for your listening. May all this be have share be beneficial for all of us. If you have any question, you can type that your question in the comment below.